Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. No, this is not a Christmas tree. I was going to do a video today on a review of some long-term food storage, but I thought that this video here that I'm doing now is probably a little more important, so I wanted to do this instead, and then I'll just push the review over to tomorrow. So I want to show those of you that may not have the finances that you think you may need in order to store a year's supply of food, i.e. nutrition, that you can do it, even on a small budget. That's why I titled the video the way that I did. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take you over to a boring spreadsheet that I worked on during lunch today. And I want to show you how easy it is for you to store a year's worth of food, okay, for not too much money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a year's worth of food for one person. So, obviously, you're going to have to multiply it times however many family members you're prepping for. And keep in mind that children eat less than adults. Okay, so let me go ahead and move over to our spreadsheet. So what you're looking at here is the bare minimum that you would need to store in order to feed yourself for 1 year. And I broke it down into pounds, calories, how much it costs, total calories and total cost for that line item. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can substitute some of these things and fill it in with something else that's at about the same cost. For example, if you don't eat oats that much, you can, instead of getting 50 pounds of oats, you can get 25 pounds of oats and 25 pounds of flour. Or you can take out 25 pounds of rice and 25 pounds of oats and replace it with 50 pounds of flour. Okay, because flour has about the same amount of calories as these two items, right? But what I would recommend is that you do a spreadsheet. If you don't have any preps and you're just starting out, do a spreadsheet and you can take a look at this and maybe use it as a guide so that you can customize a spreadsheet of your own that would fulfill your needs. And then you'll know exactly where you're going to need to start and how you can start it. So I'm going to go over all of these items and how much they cost. On or about, I just took about the average price, all right? Not the average price for where I live, but the average price around the US, okay? So let's start off with oats. A 50-pound bag of oats costs about 55 cents a pound, so it's going to cost about $27.50. And that 50 pound of oats is going to provide you with 88,250 calories. 100 pounds of white rice, which is the less expensive rice, all right? White rice, long grain white rice would be your least expensive kind of rice, all right? 1 pound of rice has on average 1,654 calories and costs about 45 cents a pound. So 100 pounds of rice will cost you about $45 or less. I've seen it for a lot less. But like I said, I want to take about the average. Pinto beans. And when I say pinto beans, pretty much any legume that you get, be it pinto beans or black beans or kidney beans, navy beans, all right, even like split peas, things like that, black-eyed peas or peas, they're going to have around the same amount of calories, okay? And they're going to cost you, on average, about $1 a pound. So if you get 75 pounds, you're going to spend about $75. Now, for proteins, I went ahead and chose the two least expensive kinds of meats. 75 pounds of chicken breast and 75 pounds of pork. And on average, a pound of chicken breast has just shy of 500 calories a pound of pork has just shy of 900 calories. So you may want to, instead of getting chicken, get all pork. All right, to capitalize on the calories, to get as many calories as you want. Or you can substitute some of these meats with like canned processed meats like Spam or Vienna sausages or hash. Okay? I'm just giving you ideas here so that you can cover all your bases. Now, on average, a pound of chicken breast is about $2.50 a pound. And if you find it on sale, even better. So you're going to end up spending about $187 on chicken, about $150 on pork. And for that, you're going to get about 37,000 calories for the chicken and 67,000 calories for the pork. Now, these are all your very, very basic items that you can actually get halfway decent nutrition. Let's go to oils. I picked the 2 least expensive oils. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that some people are going to think or say, well, you got canola oil and vegetable oil. Usually those oils are GMO. What I'm talking about here, when I'm talking about feeding yourself for 1 year, this video is really more for the person who thinks they can't do it, all right, or thinks that it's kind of nuts to try to get a year's supply of food because maybe they think it's too much money to spend. And I'm trying to showcase in this video that you can do it on any income, even if you make very little or are on a fixed income. Okay, so I went ahead and chose, this is pretty much for survival. So let's say that you really don't think that anything's ever going to happen, but you have the mind thought that, hey, you know what? A little bit of insurance wouldn't hurt, which is a good way to think. And you're like, well, you know what? If I just spend this money on this one time and put it away, I know I'll have it. And then forget about it. And then I'm going to go on and live my life just like I've always lived my life. I'm going to keep spending, $100 a week on junk food. I'm going to keep, spending $800 a month on a car payment, etc., etc., etc. You just want that little bit of food insurance. That way you have some kind of peace of mind, okay? But you really don't want to get into the prepping thing, right? So if any of you know anyone that just doesn't want to get into prepping, that's okay. Share this video with them and show them how easy it is to do a one-time buy of all of the food that you will need for 1 year for one person, or for 6 months for 2 people, right? And you can break it down again, or 3 months for 4 people. And they can decide whether they want to do it in just one shot, or whether they want to do it on a weekly or bi-monthly basis, all right? Or monthly basis, all right? That's what this video is intended for. It's intended for that person that's maybe on the edge of wanting to prep, but they're just not sure that they really need to prep, or that they think that they can't afford to prep. Right? So I went to oil. I figured 6 gallons of oil altogether. Now, 6 gallons of oil may sound like a lot, but it's not a lot of oil, ladies and gentlemen. 6 gallons of oil will only allow you just over 1 ounce of each oil per day. So 6 gallons of oil will give you 2 ounces of oil per day for 1 year. Okay, so it's not a lot. It may sound like a lot, but it's not. All right, so 6 gallons of oil will provide you with about 192,288 calories off of 6 gallons of oil. And those calories do count, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you're going to get a 25-pound bag of salt. And that 25-pound bag of salt, you should be able to find yourself for about $8 at any Sam's Club or Costco. And you may be able to find it cheaper if you have like a Winco or something like that near you. You're going to get yourselves a 50-pound bag of sugar for roughly $25. It could be a little bit less depending on where you are. That sugar is going to provide you with 87,750 calories. Then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some gravy mix. And you know those McCormick gravy mix containers that are like 21 ounces, something like that? All right. So you can get 3 of those for about $21. And it will come with 222 servings. Not enough to give you 1 serving every day, but this is not something that you have to have every day either. Okay. On top of that, I went ahead and added some spices. I figured that about 52 ounces of garlic powder would do. 48 ounces of all seasoning salt would do. About 2 pounds or 32 ounces of black pepper would do. And for that, the garlic came out to about $19. The all seasoning came out to about $15. The black pepper came out to about $20. And like I said, it could be cheaper depending on where you get it. In addition, I went ahead and added a Berkey filter DIY system. So if you guys go back and you punch in Alaska Prepper Berkey filter DIY, you'll see how I built a Berkey system out of the Berkey filter elements, a couple of buckets, and a spigot for a total of $158 for all of that. And you may be able to find those Berkey filters a little less expensive in some site, in some other sites. But anyways, you guys can also make yourselves a gravity fed system with a mini Sawyer. And I have a video showing you all how to do that as well. So you can drastically reduce your cost by probably about $100, or I would say by about $80 if you get yourselves 2 mini Sawyers, 1 to use and 1 as a backup. All right, but I would recommend to get the Berkey if that's the only filtration system you're going to have available to you. You can purchase yourself a 2-burner liquid propane Coleman stove for roughly around $60, or you can find it less expensive on Craigslist or on sale. You can get 6 20-pound bottles of propane for roughly $95. It costs about $15 to fill them up at the gas station. And I went ahead and included 2 bottles of 1-a-day vitamins so that you can have enough vitamins to have at least 1 per day for every day of the year. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's not extravagant. I know it's not fancy, but this will sustain you. All of this food here will sustain you for a full year. Now let's take a look at how many calories and what the total cost is. Now the total amount of calories for all of this food that you see here is roughly 667,000 calories, which is enough to provide you with 1,800 calories per day of nutrition. And these are actually not bad calories. I know some people will say rice is just white sugar, oats. I don't eat oats, all of these things. But the main point of this is to allow you to see something that you can work with, that you can develop your own spreadsheet and figure out exactly what it is that you want. You can substitute anything that you see here with anything you want to substitute it with. And all you have to do is punch in the numbers and it'll tell you how much it'll cost for the year and how many calories it'll give you. Now, the total cost for everything that you see here is $973.70. So there's, so it's just shy of $1,000 for 1,800 calories per day. Okay, now let's go ahead and address those people that may say, well, we can't live on 1,828 calories per day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right? Like, for example, let's say you have an elderly person who's too fragile to go outside and cut wood or to go outside and garden, but they are in good enough shape to stay inside and do canning and do cooking and do laundry and things like that. That don't take as many calories to do as going out and working a garden or working a small farm and taking care of livestock and building and things like that. So when you do your calories, remember that. when you see down here that there's 1,828 calories per day per person for this amount of food, think, am I really going to need 1,828 calories per day? And if you are, and you live in a family and you're prepping for a family, more than likely it's going to be that some members of your family will not need as many calories as other members of your family. Okay? Because I see a lot of people get stuck on the calories per day. Well, you're going to need more calories per day because you're going to be doing this and doing that. Okay, but if you're prepping for more than one person, is everyone that you're prepping for going to need the same amount of calories? For $973 a year, you can get enough food to feed a person 1,800 calories a day. And I don't want you to get fixated on that number, because just like the title of this video said, that only rounds up to $18.73 per week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So even if you're on a fixed income, you can find a way to earn $19 a week so that you can start to prep, all right, for a year's worth supply of food. Now, I understand and I know this, that most of our community members that are on this channel now, most of you are probably already prepping and have things. But this would be for someone that doesn't want to start prepping because they think it's too much of a burden monetarily, or they just think that they can't do it. And for those of you that may be listening to this that are not prepping yet, it's as easy as putting away $19 a week, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, a little bit less than $19 per week. And you can build this up in 1 year. You can build up a 1 year supply of food in 1 year if you put away $19 a week in preps. All right? Or if you have $1,000 and you want to get it over with, you can get it over with in 1 day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, take inventory of what we've got here. Our biggest items are oats, rice, beans, okay, the oil. Those are our biggest items. Everything that you see here, all of these items that you see here, you can store under a bed. I would venture to say that you could store all of this under a twin-sized bed. But let's just say a queen-sized bed. You can store all of this food under a queen-sized bed. So if your excuse is that you don't have any room, that's really no excuse, because you have room under your bed. And if you're storing food for, let's say, 4 family members, each one of those family members, they have a bed that they sleep on, right? So store a year's supply of food under their bed. And that would be what you could do in order to make sure that you have food insurance. Now, this is strictly food insurance, because this is meant to just get you by, all right? And maybe supplement whatever else you may be able to gather during those times, or may be able to grow. Something that I should have added to this list, which would actually round it up to about $1,000 even, is a pack of seeds. You can go on Amazon and get yourself a pack of seeds for like $15. All right, that's something that you can do so that you can have seeds to start a garden with. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is somewhat of a short, and actually up here it says $81 per month, which is what it would come out to if you broke it down, if you broke down that $973 a year by month. But I thought I'd break it down for you guys even further to show you that you can do it on less than $19 a week. Now think to yourselves, what that $19 a week, what do you spend $19 a week on now that you don't need? Okay, do you have a cable bill? Do you have a phone bill that has unlimited internet, and maybe you can bring that down some? Do you live in one of those states where you have a 10-cent deposit on cans and bottles? And can you go out and pick some cans and bottles on the weekends? All right, 10 cents per can or per bottle is 190 bottles for $19. So think about it. If you live in one of those states, Or think of what you can do to earn an additional $19 a week. Or think of what you can cut out of your lives. All right? Do you go to McDonald's? Do you go to Starbucks? Do you get a pizza every week or every other week? A number one at McDonald's, at least here where I'm at, is I think just shy of $10. All right? A Big Mac meal is just shy of $10. So think about the things that you can cut out in your lives where you can save or earn $19 a week. And in 1 year, you'd have enough food to feed yourself for 1 year, or enough food to feed yourself and your spouse for 6 months. And then just do the math if you have children. So I thought that this video was a little more important, ladies and gentlemen, than putting up the review. I will be doing a review tomorrow. I'll be putting one up tomorrow after I get up from work so that you guys can have. And it'll be reviewing 2 items, all right, during the same video. I have a lot of review videos to do, so I'm going to try to do at least 2 items at a time. That way we can get through them, because I do have a lot of things to review. But I thought that it was important to put this out so that those of you that may be watching this, that may be considering to start prepping, all right, or thinking that prepping is too much of a burden, that you would have a chance to take a look at this and hopefully consider starting to prep. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. I hope that you get something out of this video. And if you're already prepping, please reach one, teach one, and repeat. All right? Share this video with someone that you love, someone that you know, someone that you think needs a little push to start prepping. And maybe they'll consider to start prepping. Or maybe they'll start asking more questions. All right? But at least plant that seed in their brains. That way they can at least have it in the back of their heads. That way, if they see an article somewhere or a news clip about food shortages or about food riots in other countries or things like that, maybe that seed that you planted will bring them back to this video, and they'll tell themselves, wait a minute, it's really not that expensive to start prepping or to get prepped. It's not that expensive. Let me go ahead and take a look at this again, and let me see if I can do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm sorry if you found this video a little bit boring, but I just thought that it was a lot more important for me to put this out today than to put out a video on doing a review. All right, having said that, thank you very much again for joining in. Hey, if you want to support the channel, if you'd like to support the channel, just take a look at the links under the description. Oxen Farms is having a sale still, 40% off of all of the items that they didn't liquidate during the last 2 weeks they had off. So they still probably have about a dozen items or so that they're still selling. And I just wish I can buy some of them, because they have the Oxen Farms carrots, the little carrot bits that are dehydrated, for like $11. And that is just such a great deal. But I can't get that here. But anyways, if you want to take advantage of it, I'd appreciate it if you guys use my link. It's always appreciated if you guys use my links whenever you go do your shopping. Not going to cost you a penny more. Okay? So again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you had a good day today. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.